Tulsa, Oklahoma today to mark 100 years since the Tulsa Race Massacre. It's one of the nation's darkest moments of racial violence. Hundreds of Black Americans died in the massacre, and the center of Tulsa's Black Commerce District, known as Black Wall Street, was destroyed. Danya Backus reports from Tulsa.
President Biden is visiting Tulsa today to remember and honor the victims of the race massacre that began 100 years ago Monday.
That there hasn't been political will to bring the attention to it that it deserves is a tragedy, and I commend President Biden for giving it the respect that it deserves.
The president is meeting privately with survivors, all of whom are more than 100 years old. Mr. Biden is also touring the Greenwood Cultural Center, outlining plans to confront systemic racism, narrow the wealth gap between blacks and whites, and help communities of color across the U.S. by reinvesting in underserved communities. The Tulsa Race Massacre is one of the worst chapters of racial violence in U.S. history. It's been largely forgotten, hushed for decades until fairly recently. Mr. Biden is the first sitting president to travel here to honor its victims. The violence erupted after a black man was accused of assaulting a white woman. A white mob killed and injured hundreds of black residents in the thriving business district known as Black Wall Street. Thousands of others were forced into internment camps. The mob looted and burned the Greenwood district, destroying more than 1,200 homes and businesses.
Black Wall Street was bustling. The white community was bustling. And then you had this horrific event happen, perpetrated by racism, and it crushed the soul of this city.
Today, 100 years later, the legacy of Black Wall Street will endure as people come together to remember and make sure an attack like this never happens again. Danya Backus, CBS News, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I've never seen the need for staffing like this unmet as it has been.
Staffing shortages hitting hotels. Coming up, how it may affect your next trip.